Hey guys, what's up? Crucity here, and today I'm bringing you guys my first video on this channel. So I actually do have two other channels, Crucity and Crucity Plays. Go check those channels out. But anyways, this is my designing channel. So anyways, today I'm teaching you guys how to make a basic thumbnail. Now this is actually pretty simple, and there's actually going to be a lot of different parts on thumbnail. So there'll be another one up this week. And this is pretty much just, showing all the different types of thumbnails you can make. Like, there's infinite amount of thumbnails. If you guys have certain ones you like from other YouTubers, or if you've seen any of my thumbnails that you've liked, just like leave a link in the description of the video or something. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So this thumbnail is actually very basic. So to start off a thumbnail, you would need Photoshop. I'm not exactly sure what other programs are out there that do this, especially at this level, but anyways, go ahead and file new. You're gonna go ahead and do 1280 by 720. This is a basic thumbnail size, just background or whatever. And yeah, so anyways, we're gonna go ahead and Google, and we're gonna look up Smite. Now this could be any game you want. In fact, doesn't matter. This is just basic thumbnail. And anyways, just saying this, like, this doesn't have to be a top 5. This is just showing you like how to do each and every step of this. Like, I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but it's just showing you how to make it pretty much. And so you could use this in your own thumbnails and be a bit more creative. That's what I encourage you guys to do, be creative. So this is actually the photo I got, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy image, and we're gonna go ahead and click edit, paste. Now it should take up most of the screen. And one thing you have to keep in mind when you're looking at photos, right here you see it says 1920 by 1080, so that means it's a bigger photo. You could just shrink that down. But if you run into a photo like this, which is 638 by 359, that's really small, and when you enlarge it, it'll look really bad. So don't use photos like that. Minimum, use photos like 1280 by 720 or 1920 by 1080, or just anything bigger than 1280. Yeah, that's what I recommend. So now that we have this photo, it is big just because of the size we copied it at. So we're going to hit Control T, which Control T, what it does is it transforms it. So it's pretty much hitting edit and transform. That's like the shortcut, hitting Control T. And all we're doing right here is just merging it, or not merging it, just shrinking it down to the size of our thumbnail workspace. Now once we got that, I always like to work on backgrounds first, and text and overlays are always last. So we're gonna go ahead and click filter, and there's actually two ways to do this. So if you see on this one, I can't really show you here, but you could either do this blur, box blur, which you could just make it blurry, which the background is important. You want it to look good, but at the same time you don't want it grabbing people's attention where they're looking at that and not your text. So blur looks good. I normally use blur on a lot of my thumbnails, but something new I've learned and I've been using a lot is you go on filter gallery. This is actually a lot of fun to play around with. So there's all these different types of filters that just make this like pictures just look so awesome, and it's kind of hard to choose from sometimes. So originally for this thumbnail I used angle and strokes, so go ahead and click OK. And when I put the text on, it felt so kind of like this background was standing out. I'll show you what I mean later, but if you actually go ahead and look up Smite logo, which we're gonna put on the thumbnail, and PNG. Now PNG is a big part of this. So PNG pretty much means transparent, and the reason why it said I don't know what to say, but pretty much, I don't get why I say pretty much so much, whatever. So anyways, PNG is another term for transparent. and PNG is how you save a transparent file. So you see these like black and white dots behind it. That's pretty much what a PNG file is, where you see that. So there's no background on it. So that's the type of file you're going to be looking for. So you click save image as. In fact, I already have this image, so I'm just going to drag it out onto this thing right here. And once you got the image on here, it'll automatically go to a transform state. And this is actually kind of too big, so we're going to go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. And right around, can't speak, but right around there is good. And we're just going to put it above right here and there. So next we're going to go ahead and make a new layer, text layer, and we're going to type in top 5. And you could type whatever you want. It could be like, you know, playing with whatever, but this is just, you know, just showing you how I made my top 5 thumbnail. I won't always be doing this, but this is just like a simple thumbnail I'm trying to teach you, just this type. So anyways, go ahead and double click on there, and there's all these different types of styles you could use. So pretty much what I will be doing is gradient overlay, and you see this one, I have a normal, angle 90, which is normal. Gradient, what I did for the gradient is I put it from a light gray, very light, to a pretty much white, and that makes it a very bright color, or, you know, gradient. So what I did is I put on same, put the opacity down a little, make it look dark, but at the same time not make it look too dark. Now once I did that, I also clicked on bevel and emboss, which if you use this wrong, like, this looks really ugly, to be honest. But if you put it at 1, it looks really cool in my opinion. So I actually use that in a lot of my thumbnails and just banners and everything I do. So once you click that, go ahead and click OK. And when at this part, what I was talking about earlier, where the background's noticeable, it kind of takes away from the text, and that's exactly what we don't want to do. We want the background to be there, look cool, but at the same time we want it to, you know, hide away and just make sure our viewers looking at the thumbnail grab to the words. Like, that's our main part, because people could easily pass by this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on this background again. We're going to go into filter, blur, box blur. Now we did this earlier in the beginning, and it didn't look as good without a filter gallery thing, but with it, I think it looks pretty good. And just set at 4 or somewhere around there. It kind of takes away more from, you know, the text. So if we click Control C to go back, you see how, you know, the text is with the background. Like, you know, it's not really, the background's just not, I'm not exactly sure how to explain this, but the background kind of, like, you know, makes you want to look at it, and that's not what we want to do. But with the blur on it, it makes it look like a cool background if you actually look at the thumbnail long enough. But at the same time, the first thing you're looking at is the text, because it's blurred out. So if you ever have a background, it's really smart to put a blur, just because, like, even you look at photos, the blurred parts you don't look at first, you always look at the, you know, main part. So we want our viewers to look at Smite top 5, oh, that looks like a cool video. So now we want to put the, like, number thing, like, for the video. So what we're going to do is the text, and for this I did #1 for the first video. And a cool trick is, instead of going back and redoing everything I did, go and right click on top 5, copy layer style, go on number 1, right click, paste layer style. And what that does is it does the exact style. And in fact, I don't want the, one thing I forgot to do on the layer style, which makes this look really cool. So if we go back on this top 5 layer style, I actually was going to take it off the number 1 style, but I forgot I didn't even put it on the top 5. So we go here, we put on a drop shadow. It kind of makes it stick away from the background, and you could just play around with these 3 things right here. Do whatever you want. There's no, like, specific thing you have to do. There's no specific thing you just have to do in Photoshop. It's creativity. But once you got that, the the drop shadow, I normally don't like it on my number 1 thing, but you can do what you want. Also, if you want to do the, oh, my phone's going off. If you want to do the #1 thing, try and not put it in the bottom right corner, just because that's normally where the where is it? I'm trying to. There's something normally blocking it there. You could put it wherever you want normally, but normally just stick away. Like, I think I put it there, or where did I put it? I put it at the top right. And yeah, that's pretty much it for our first type of thumbnail tutorial. So I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, there will be one later in the week. I think, I'm trying to see, I think the next thumbnail, I don't know why my phone's buzzing so much, sorry if you guys could hear that, but the next thumbnail thing will be Wednesday, I think, so in like 2 days. And also on this channel I'll start be doing like giveaways of channel art, whatever you guys want. I think I'll have a little theme to it on the channel art or something. Not exactly sure how it's gonna work yet, but yeah, so it'll be given away weekly. And yeah, so if you guys like this video, leave a like, a comment. Also leave a comment on like what you guys want next thumbnail type. Like if you see a YouTuber's thumbnail and like, hey, that looks really cool, leave a link to the video and I'll for sure help you guys out. So anyways guys, thank you for watching and see ya.